Chuck here, Hillbilly Acre Homestead. Welcome back to the rabbitry. We're going to show you some of our reds. You've met this young lady before. She's due later on in February. This is Elizabeth, and she is actually bred to Witter, of all people, our red-eyed white buck. We decided to go ahead and start working on the red-eyed white project that I mentioned to you in the past. Even though we don't have Mustang Sally anymore, we're going to try and breed the red-eyed white. You remember we found out recently that our broken red buck Grubbs, he carries red-eyed white, as does our broken red doe Tater. She carries red-eyed white because she was bred to Grubbs, and in a recent litter she spit out a little red-eyed white baby, and we're like, surprise, surprise. But this is Elizabeth. Her litter, like I said, she's bred to Witter, and all of her babies will be, if she doesn't have the red-eyed white, if she doesn't carry red-eyed white, all of her babies will carry red-eyed white, and then we can then turn around and breed maybe a buck from there, breed it to the red-eyed white that Tater has now, and see if we can't get a red-eyed white line going here. We're not finding a lot of red-eyed whites in our area. Okay, we would like to have a red-eyed white line. We're not finding a lot of red-eyed whites here in this area that we feel like we want to work with, and so we're just trying to do things a different way. This is going to be you know, a lengthy process time-wise, but we're gonna work with it. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I guess neither was a good red-eyed white line. So okay, we're gonna pause, and we're gonna move on to the next cage. This is Marcy. Marcy has recently been bred to Coral, but she's still got two of her babies with her from the last litter. They both ended up, the two that lived, they both ended up being bucks. These guys are somewhere around 10 weeks old, but look at them. Look at this guy. Here, Allie, you want to hold him? Turn around there. Move your hand now so they can see. Look at that pretty pattern. We don't need a broken red buck, but we've got people that seem to be interested in raising some broken reds, and so they might need a good buck. Now I want you to look. I want you to look at this guy. Okay?
Can I put this one back in there?
Yeah, if you don't want to hold him. You get back in there, buddy. These guys are tame compared to some of, man, the little guys out of Annabelle around there. They just go nuts when you walk in there. But brother or mama bit a little bitty tip off of his ear. But look at the size of this guy. For his age, he is just outrageously large. I'm afraid he's going to be a little long-bodied. I haven't really posed him up a whole lot, but because he's so young yet. But I'm afraid he's going to be a little long-bodied. But we'll see. If not, then we may show him. But I've got a couple other prospects as far as showing the reds. I've got a couple others that I've been looking at that are Gracie's babies, and we may forego showing that guy or that guy in lieu of the two that Gracie have now. Okay, we'll move on over here. This is Annabelle. You can see we're using whatever we can come up with for water. That looks green, but it's because she threw some hay in there. It's not been sitting that long. It's just the chlorophyll coming out of the hay. But we use whatever we can use. This is a little tip now. When you need to feed a rabbit a lot of water, get an ice cream bucket, undo the handle here on one side, slide it through the wire of your cage, and then fasten it back. And that helps make it to where if you don't do that, she's going to be tossing that thing and flipping it over, pouring it out 5 seconds after you fill it up. Okay, she'll get maybe one drink out of it after you fill it up, and then she'll dump it out, and she won't have no water unless you come back here for 5 minutes and fill it up again. Okay, and ain't nobody got time for that. So we fill this, so we tie them up to the side there. You can see around the tip, she grabs a hold of them, she chews and tries to pull on it, but it's not going nowhere right now. But this is Annabelle. She is due next week. Hey, baby. Yeah, you better be nice, girl. She has tendencies to be demon possessed, but I don't know. I think she's worked out most of those. But yeah, we palpated her. She's definitely loaded down with babies. She's definitely going to fill this nest box up next week. and we just hope. We're just asking the Lord to give us some good weather so they don't get too cold that night, and she can get them in the nest and get them covered with fur. Annie's always a good mama. She always covers them with that much fur. But like I said, if it's real cold, she can't get them in the nest and get them covered in time before they get too cold. And you know, that's the critical period. From the time they're born, she's going to lick them and clean them up, and she's got to have time before they get too cold to do all that and get them in the nest and get them covered with fur where they can keep each other warm. Okay, and that's just kind of a critical period, and that was what we were trying to do with the heat lamps, but evidently it just wasn't enough. So, you know, I didn't, you know, back to the drawing board. Maybe we'll figure something else out one of these days. A heating pad underneath the nesting material in the nest box would be nice, but you know, whoever designs those heating pads, you know, they design those things to go off after 30 minutes on their own now. What good is that? I'm not going to walk out here every 30 minutes all night long to push a button to turn the heating pad back on. So what are you going to do? Okay, we're going to move on along. This little lady here has thrown this board off. I had to keep this board up here, okay, because we have pigeons that like to sit right up here. And I don't like this pigeon poop to end up on top of my bunny. And not to mention it's not good for them. So I put this up here, but she bounces around in the cage sometimes and makes that fall off on the ground. Hey Lexa, sugar. This is Lexa. She is daughter of Grubs and Annabelle. She's sister to Tater. And I'm going to tell you what, she is just the prettiest red, I think, to come out of Annabelle. Oh, yeah. She's going to try to jump back in that cage.
Mm-hmm.
She don't mind us reaching in and petting her, but she don't really like to be picked up and pulled out. But anyway, she is definitely full of babies. We have confirmed that, I believe. But I can try again right here in front of you. Let's see what we got happening here. Well, we're not. Anyway, here we go. We'll put her back. Okay, she may not. I didn't. Whoops. Okay, well, we're good. I'll leave her alone. We may have missed the. We may have missed again. Because it looks like she's been sitting on that bedding material, but it doesn't look like she's really trying to make a hole or a nest out of it. So, we just don't know. But she definitely likes the nest box. Lexa, her first litter, she had them back in just before or after Christmas. I want to say around the 27th of December. And it was so cold out here that 2 days later, they'd been in the nest. She had decent fur. She was packing. She had 8 babies. 2 days later, come out here in the morning for feeding. Every one of them gone. So heartbreaking. Same thing happened with Annabelle. I think she had 5 the last time, and same thing happened with hers. And I know Annabelle has had 2 or 3 litters for us, and she is an exceptional mother. Did she get you?
No.
Yep, there's the Annabelle we know and love. Oh, had the camera pointed the wrong way, folks. Y'all would have liked that. I guarantee you, you don't normally see Allie's hand come out of a rabbit cage that fast. When you're putting a handful of hay in the cage for Annabelle, she thinks that I guess she thinks you're taunting her with it, and she'll take her paws and go like this and try to knock it out of your hand or do something, and she's defending herself, or she thinks she is, I guess.
Sad part is, I told her that Annie wouldn't get her.
It's just funny.
I'm so sorry.
She's trying to whoop that handful of hay before you can turn loose of it. But anyway, did you think she was gonna eat your arm off?
The sad part is, I told her to put hay in there, and she was like, "Is she gonna get me?" I'm like, "No." What?
They all just rabbits. They've got their own personality. They're just like people, or dogs, cats, anything else. They're all different. But anyway, but Lexa is hopefully pregnant. If she's got babies in there, they are hiding from me, and I couldn't confirm anything. But Reds, our reds and broken reds, every single doe out here has been re-exposed to the buck since their previous litter, and we're expecting babies. Again, Lexa and Annabelle, they lost their last 2 litters back in December, and they've been rebred, and we're expecting more babies from that now on the 6th of February, which is, from recording that time, that's this coming Tuesday. And haven't looked at the forecast, but I'm hoping we can have some decent overnight temperatures. We've had some overnight temperatures that are in the 40s, and even though that's cold to you and me, they do pretty good. When it temperatures up above freezing, they do pretty good getting them in the nest and getting them covered at that temperature. Especially a doe like Annabelle. She is just such an excellent mother. Lexa is Annabelle's daughter, and she has inherited her mothering ability. She made an excellent nest, put 8 babies in there. My goodness, so happy with everything, and I was so thrilled. That was Hugh Hefner's first litter, and we were so thrilled, and 2 days later, they were all gone, and it was just like somebody took a pin and popped and let the air out of our balloon, you know. And it happens. You just got to keep going on. It's, you know, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?